you've been quite politically rebellious. You've voted over 500 times against your party. Do you find it difficult, having been in a position where you could be quite outspoken, to now being in a position where you sort of have to toe the line a bit more?
It's obviously different. This party was founded by people who believed in peace, believed in justice, believed in socialism, wanted to see a different world, and particularly the Iraq War. I raised my critical voice on many occasions, stuff in Parliament. I don't consider I was disloyal to the party during that time. I was questioning what the party leadership was doing. There is a complication, obviously, in that I was elected from a mandate from outside Parliament. I did not get anywhere near half of Labour MPs' support in the leadership election, in fact much less than that. So it is a question of reaching out to them, but at the same time remaining true to the principles on which I was elected.
In the past, there have been quite a few things that would sort of point to the fact that you could be Eurosceptic. Have you changed your tune?
No, I've always been critical of the European Union's much of its economic strategy and some of its undemocratic decision making. Does it mean I'm against any cooperation? Absolutely not. Do I think it could be better? Absolutely I do. But I do think there are a number of areas that you've got to work together. One is human rights. Secondly is the question of rights, working time directive, human rights, anti-discrimination legislation. And the third is environmental protection. You cannot protect the environment without crossing national frontiers.
So, as Labour leader, your schedule must be really busy. For the little spare time that you do have, what do you like to do in it?
I have a small garden at home, which I do things in, but I also have an allotment to grow a lot of vegetables on. I go there. And I talk to the other allotment holders about the vital issues, the location of our potato crops, how we grow them, what varieties we grow, and all the other things we grow. I obviously read stuff. I like to be reading about 3 books at the same time.
Oh wow.
Depending on your mood.
How do you keep track of the storylines?
Well, it's not difficult.
So the title of this interview is If I Knew Then. So going back to schoolboy Jeremy, 18, he's left school with 2 E's at A-level. What would he be thinking if he knew that in 40 years' time he would be leader of the opposition?
I'd have probably been very surprised. My interests were then as now in peace, justice and human rights. The frustration is there's never enough time to do everything you want to do, which is a frustration everybody feels. But it's also good if we end up promoting a much more democratic party and democratic society and opening up a political debate about the nature of our society, the individualist nature versus the community nature of it, and how we react towards injustice, inequality, how we react towards the refugee crisis across Europe. Do we walk away or do we support? How do we deal with the rest of the world? Do we go to war or do we have human rights at the centre of our foreign policy? And it's those issues that I've spent my life working on. So I'm doing all of that all at the same time. It's very interesting.